What if the final season of Outlander completely rewrites everything we think we know about time travel? What if the most important characters in the entire series aren't Jamie, Claire, Brianna, or Roger, but two children who are just beginning to understand what they can do? Season 8 is building up to something big, and all signs point to Jemmy and Mandy becoming the key to a major shift in the time travel rules. Their abilities might not only change the final season, they might set up the future of the entire universe. There's been a lot of talk lately about just how powerful Jemmy and Mandy might become. They're the first children in the series born from parents who can both travel through the stones. That alone makes them unique, but the story hints at something even stronger. They seem naturally drawn to the stones. They feel things others don't. And their strange, almost psychic connection to each other suggests they might one day reach a level of control that matches or even surpasses someone like Master Raymond. Imagine two young travelers who don't just hear the buzzing, they understand it. They respond to it. They shape it. This is especially interesting because Season 8 is the final chapter of the main series. Even though it's ending, the franchise itself isn't. A spin-off, Outlander, Blood of My Blood, is already on the way. Season 8 has the perfect chance to connect the two stories, using Jemmy and Mandy as a bridge into whatever comes next. They may even become the new focus of the Outlander timeline once Jamie and Claire's main journey ends. In fact, Blood of My Blood is already expanding how we understand the Beauchamp family. The survival of Henry and Julia Beauchamp and the surprise reveal that they have a second child could send ripples straight into Season 8. If they eventually pass through the stones, they could arrive in two very different periods. They might land around the 1770s, right in the middle of the American Revolution, placing them close to Jamie and Claire. Or they might arrive earlier, near the time when Claire first traveled back. Either possibility could reshape long-standing mysteries, especially anything related to faith. Small connections between the spin-off and the main series are already popping up. In Blood of My Blood, Julia sings "I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside" to Little William. That same song appears in Outlander Season 7, triggering Claire's belief that her daughter Faith might still be alive. Details like this rarely happen by accident. They feel like the writers are setting up a much bigger reveal across the two shows. Season 8 might not answer everything, but it will definitely drop clues that point toward where the story is heading. And that's important, because the final season has a huge list of unresolved threads to address. For starters, after the Battle of Monmouth, Jamie and Claire are heading home to Fraser's Ridge with Fanny Beardsley. This alone creates a major storyline. Claire can't ignore the feeling that Fanny's mother, Faith Beardsley, could somehow be connected to her own daughter Faith. Under normal circumstances, it would sound impossible, but Outlander has never been built on normal circumstances. And now that Master Raymond has reappeared in the timeline, almost anything seems possible. At the same time, Brianna and Roger are finally on their way back to reunite with the Frasers. This reunion could be emotional, chaotic, or even shocking, depending on what new truths come to light. With the show reaching its end, every chapter feels like it could carry the weight of a final resolution or a heartbreaking twist. The biggest question hanging over everything is Faith's fate. The end of Season 7 stunned fans with the idea that Faith might still be alive. But because the show has deviated from the books before, nothing is guaranteed. It's very possible that the revelation at the end of Season 7 was a deliberate mislead, something created to stir hope only for Season 8 to reveal a harder truth. At the same time, the clues are too strong to ignore. Faith somehow knows "I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside," a song Claire never taught her. That alone suggests she may have lived somewhere close to Claire's own time. Master Raymond complicates everything. His motives have always been mysterious. He could be guiding Claire, or he could be trying to push her toward a deeper understanding of her own power. His comments about her blue aura, combined with hints from characters like Niowen, imply that Claire is nowhere near the peak of her abilities. The final season may finally show Claire embracing her identity as the White Lady, the healer with gifts that go far beyond medicine. Raymond's return might also revive the Fraser prophecy. The prophecy suggested that a Scottish king would rise after the death of a 200-year-old baby, which is what drove Gillis Duncan to try to kill Brianna. Because Claire traveled forward in time while pregnant, Brianna technically fit that description. The series hasn't revisited the prophecy in years, but with Raymond reappearing, it feels like the perfect moment to bring it back into focus and tie it into the larger time travel arc. Jamie's personal journey also carries major unanswered questions. His resignation from the Continental Army wasn't clean or simple. He disappeared after Claire was injured, leaving a message written in her blood. Claire asked if this would cause trouble, and Jamie's answer suggested there could be consequences that are far from over. Jamie has spent his entire life caught in historic upheaval, first the Jacobite Rising, then British forces, then the Continental Army. Trying to leave the battlefield behind may not be as easy as he hopes. Then there's Lord John Grey. Season 7 left them in a difficult place after Jamie learned that Claire briefly married John when they believed Jamie was dead. They reached a fragile peace, but their friendship hasn't healed. Season 8 will almost certainly need to address this. Ending their story unresolved would feel incomplete, especially for two characters with such a deep and complicated bond. On top of that, the show has been hinting at Jamie's possible death since Season 1. Frank saw Jamie's ghost watching Claire through the window, something that has never been explained. The final season might finally reveal what that moment meant. If Jamie dies before Claire returns to the 20th century, it could complete a story loop the show has been building toward from the very beginning. It would also push Claire into truly becoming the healer she was always meant to be, stepping into a role similar to Raymond, someone who moves through time with purpose, healing, and destiny. Season 8 will also help set the stage for Blood of My Blood, which focuses on the love stories of Jamie's parents and Claire's parents. Season 7 already teased Brian Fraser's past and hinted at his forbidden romance with Ellen Mackenzie. The final season may deepen these connections, giving fans a smoother transition into the spin-off storyline. And then we come to one of the oldest mysteries in the series, the Forget-Me-Nots at Cray-na Dun. These flowers triggered Claire's first journey through time. But who planted them? No one has answered that question. Season 8 has the chance to close the circle. Some fans believe Jemmy and Mandy might eventually plant them, creating a loop that links the beginning and end of Claire's story. That kind of twist would fit perfectly with Outlander's love for time loops and destiny threads. Season 8 has a lot to balance. It must explore Jemmy and Mandy's growing powers, explain Faith's fate, complete Claire's journey toward her full abilities, and address Jamie's destiny once and for all. It has to finish unresolved stories like the Fraser Prophecy and the Forget-Me-Nots. And it needs to prepare viewers for the next chapter of the franchise. But this final season isn't just about endings. It's about linking past and future, old stories and new ones. It's about closing the book on Jamie and Claire while opening the door to what comes next. With so many mysteries converging and so many emotional threads reaching their peak, Season 8 isn't simply a farewell, it's the start of an entirely new era for Outlander. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.